Say testicular torsion.
Oh, you already just said it, so I don't need to.
Okay.
You can edit me saying it.
I can edit you saying testicular torsion. I don't know how you think editing works.
No, I was telling you how, but then you interrupted me. You take that clip of you saying testicle torsion or whatever, and then you pitch shift it down to like my voice module, so it sounds like, or like change it to like Alvin and the Chipmunks like level sound bit, and then boom.
I like the idea that in your mind, your voice is my voice, just pitched up or down, depending on what you're saying.
Well, yeah, that's how all voices are. Every voice is a pitch shift. I mean, I'm not saying that's what I will sound like. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that it'll sound funny.
Okay.
I'm not saying that, like, if you pitch shifted your voice down, it would be my voice. That's just stupid.
Well, listen to this.
Bro.
This is pitch shifted down. I sound just like you. Hi, I'm Joku. I'm wearing a red flannel.
Hi, I'm Rosa. I have a big bald head.
I'm not bald.
Take your hat off.
Look at my beautiful
Bald!
head of hair.
Dude,
I have more hair on my head than you.
Bald.
You have a weird penis. How's that?
You haven't even seen it, so I don't even know how you would know.
I've seen you show me part of it.
When?
A few, like during the crackhead era, unprompted.
No, I didn't.
I'm kidding.
Dude, you're an idiot.
You showed me part of it.
Dude, you showed me just the shaft.
Look, okay, I've seen enough of the rest of you to know that you have a weird penis.
Yeah.
It would just make sense.
Dude, you know why it's so weird? Because I
Why?
tried to cut it off. That's why it's like, dude, it's like
DIY bottom surgery with a hand drill
yeah.
and a spoon. What's up, little comers? It's Composting, back again. The most Luciferian podcast in the world. I'm your host, as always, Rasprosa, joined by my Satanist co-host, Joku, who's possessed by the devil. The devil speaks through her.
Hello, I am a little fairy from the Gumdrop Guild of the Tiny Little Manhole. Abba-dabba-da, la 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 la.
Wicked this one is in her ways.
You could say I'm a dubious little creature.
This dubious little creature
Is up to no good.
good. How's your day going?
The thing is demonic in nature. My day's good. How's your days?
My day is pretty good. I got up early, walk.
Yeah, you got up
slipped
early
and
because you
fell.
had to stay. You had to get up early because you were too busy. You're too busy fucking grinding. Too busy, you know.
Yeah,
you
I
were
was
studying.
grinding on some big booty Latinos last night.
No, you had to study. You had to. You had to cram your homework in for Composting University.
Welcome back to Composting You. Your professor, the bag. The textbook, $100 bill. The test, Bitcoin. Think about it.
Well, we're a movie podcast, so none of that relates to movies.
The professor,
Rosa.
Weinstein.
Rosa.
Harvey
no,
Weinstein.
It's just you.
Oh.
You're Rosa Weinstein. You're Harvey Weinstein's daughter. How's it feel?
Harvey Weinstein taught me everything I know.
Precision.
If I ever fuck up, That quote's gonna be really funny. If I ever just turn into a bad person, that quote's gonna be a banger.
Bro, you've already been canceled on Twitter.
Except it wasn't for anything that bad.
It wasn't anything that bad, bro. Still, you were canceled.
Those fucking orphans deserved it, dude. I'm sick of apologizing.
What is Grok on Twitter?
It's like Elon's shittier Chat GPT that's sassy and not woke. It's Chat GPT without all that woke bullshit, you know what I mean?
Yeah. How are you doing, Rosa? Can you talk about the great big fall you had earlier today?
So I slipped on ice and I fell on my ass.
Fucking idiot.
Luckily it's like a it's like
I hope you hurt.
a gelatinous rumpus.
A gelatinous rumpus.
I sort of went like boing and bounced back up onto my feet.
Oh wow. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. I'm kidding, I just hurt myself.
What'd you fall on?
Ice.
No, your on body parts.
My ass.
You fell on your ass, you fucking fool.
I told you I fell on my ass. I wasn't kidding about the ass part. I was kidding about the it cushioning my fall thing. It didn't.
Bro, you had like no ass, so you fell on your bone.
That's just not true.
Yeah, go on the Twitter to see Rosa's ass. I don't know why it's there. It shouldn't be on the fucking account, but Rosa does it anyway.
Look, it got us a patron.
Bro, go fucking post it on your fucking personal.
Bro, we already had this conversation. I stopped.
Okay, buddy.
Have you ever fallen on ice before?
No, I just kind of listen. I skate around on ice.
Have you ever fallen before?
No.
Are you like a giraffe where you hopped out of your mom's snatch and you just started walking around and shit?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You ever see that Family Guy bit?
Nope. Never seen an episode of Family Guy. You know that.
It's a cutaway gag, though. They're all over YouTube. Anyway, look at this picture I just found. Can this be picture of the week, please? I don't know what it means.
Click on the image of the week link to
read it aloud.
Wanna be my black princess? Yes. A few weeks later. I guess you know what? This is honestly the most wholesome Reddit Wojak I've ever seen.
Dude, this was in the replies.
You have to read that one out loud.
No, I'll pass.
Why don't we take turns?
No, dude, you're.
It's.
No.
You say the next word.
No.
I'll say the last
All right. We reviewed a movie. We reviewed a movie about a certain Dylan.
Who? Dylan
Toback.
Dylan Toback.
I don't remember who Dylan Toback is.
Who the fuck is Dylan Toback? That sounds like a really weird porn star. He sounds like he makes weird porn and he has a weird penis.
Dude, that was the craziest pull of my fucking life.
Who the fuck is he?
It's just a random character that was in one episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
What? Your brain just works in such mysterious ways.
I'm gonna send you a picture from the episode real quick.
Joku can name
Look at this.
like the
Read
exact season and episode of every single Simpsons and Family Guy joke, and just.
What do you think of the picture?
I like the second picture you sent more.
Can you read it out loud?
No, I don't think I'm gonna read that one out loud.
Yeah. Anyway, we watched a movie directed by one of my favorite directors right now, James Mangold. A complete unknown.
Yep. James Mangold is famous for the creation of the Wolverine and Logan. And let's just say this was also a pretty cinematic movie about a badass guy, Bob Dylan. Obviously, this is the Bob Dylan biopic starring Timothée Chalamet that follows his life from 1961 upon his arrival to New York City up until 1965 when he famously played electric at what was the name of the folk festival?
Folk and Rowdy and Folk. I don't know. I saw this movie like 3 weeks ago. You saw it last week. I think you would have a better memory of it than I would.
Newport Folk Festival. He famously played electric at the Newport Folk Festival, causing much controversy within the folk community. What did you think about this?
Of the event or the movie?
Of the biopic. A complete unknown.
So the movie.
Yeah.
All right. I thought it was fine. It was It's a fine movie. It's in the amazing new genre, musical biopic. So, I don't even think that's a new genre, but the musical biopic is a very popular thing nowadays, I feel.
My biggest criticism is that they got Timothée Chalamet to play Bob Dylan instead of Coco the monkey. I would have been much more engaged if it was perhaps even a CGI monkey on screen. But we couldn't get that, folks. Instead, we got the Timothée Chalamet performance, which honestly I thought was one of the weakest aspects of the film.
I thought it was a good performance. Same with Edward Norton. I thought all of the acting was like good, standard. I don't think it's my favorite acting, but I think Bob Dylan in himself is an interesting person. And I think that Timothée Chalamet translated that well.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of his line deliveries fell flat for me in this film. It just felt like a poor impression of Bob Dylan, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I could see that. I don't know. It worked for me.
Yeah. It wasn't anything that bad. I just thought it was quite mediocre. The film overall I'm warm towards, but it's nothing mind-blowing.
Yeah. I think Baby Girl is a better movie.
I would agree.
This felt like a breeze, and Baby Girl at a certain point like felt so much longer than this. This was like one of the quickest 2 hours and 30 minutes of my life, it felt like.
Yeah, it was very well paced.
I don't know, music really just makes time fly for me.
Yeah, the soundtrack is probably my favorite part of this movie, which makes sense because it's fucking Bob Dylan. Of course, that's gonna be the best part of this movie. What else did you like about it?
Edward Norton. I know I mentioned him, but I want to talk about him a little bit more because you seem to really care about his character, Pete Seeger.
Yes.
And in your Letterboxd review, you say, quote, "Why'd they do Pete dirty like that? Crying emoji."
Yes.
I replied, "'Cause Pete is boring."
Which is... you never reply to reviews. Which I whenever you reply a review, it's always my review, and you're just like calling me dumb.
Well, yeah. You made me watch Triumph of the Will.
And...
anyway, Edward Norton, Pete Seeger.
Yeah.
You have opinions. I think you should share those opinions.
Okay. So the controversy around Bob Dylan in playing electric guitar at the 1965 Newport Folk Festival is very misrepresented in this movie in a way that quite bothers me. Pete Seeger, one of the people running the festival, is a radical socialist union man who I have a lot of respect for as a musician and as a political figure. And he's kind of misrepresented in this movie, sort of defanged in a sense. where his issues with Bob's change of genres is presented as aesthetic issues rather than a result of the fact that Bob Dylan sort of turned his back on the political movement of folk. Because folk in this time period was as much a political movement as it was a genre of music. Much like punk, for example.
Yeah.
And it does bother me that Pete Seeger is treated as like this old man who doesn't like loud guitars and wants to, and is sort of upset with Bob over that, rather than Pete Seeger being a political activist upset with the fact that Bob Dylan is playing a mainstream version of faux folk and rock and roll disconnected from the political movement of folk. Does that make sense?
Yeah. My problems with the things that I thought you would have problems with the character portrayal is how they portray him with his wife. And it kind of relates to that amazing picture I sent earlier. Want to be my black princess? Yes. Where he kind of just has an Asian wife. I don't know.
He was a wife guy in this movie, which
What?
what was that?
What'd you say?
I say he was kind of a wife guy in this movie, which I don't mind.
Yeah.
He seemed like a wife guy. I didn't mind that aspect. It was more so like the
one aspect that I did not like is whenever he was going to pull the cable out and like turn off the sound at this stage with like a cup of water. His he's looking at it because like it's like, I'm gonna take the cup of water and dump it on the circuits and it's gonna blow, and then his wife just steps in front of him and she's like, no, you idiot, and he's like, okay.
And he looked at an axe with a bunch of cables. He's like, I'm gonna chop them with my axe.
And then his wife stands in front of him, 13 Reasons Why style, and goes, and he's like, I guess.
It's like, this shit didn't happen.
Yeah, it's just very corny, and that's a cliche that I did not like in this movie.
Yeah, it was, okay. I liked it. I liked the biopic a lot right up until the going electric thing, because it presents a bastardized version of the reasons behind why it was controversial to make Bob Dylan seem a lot more badass than he actually was, in my opinion. Like, it just felt really corny and shallow, that aspect. The rest of it I did enjoy. There's a lot to enjoy about it, but these characters are presented as one-dimensional versions of their real-life selves, and folk is presented disconnected from communism and the Red Scare. Outside of the court case that you meet Pete Seeger in, where he's being put up on charges of anti-American activity over his music, they present that as being a result of his writing of This Land Is Your Land, This Land Is My Land. It was over a lot more than that. The guy was a communist. I think it was just trying to whitewash him to make him more palatable to a liberal audience, which I kind of wouldn't mind introducing him as the guy who wrote This Land Is Your Land, This Land Is My Land, because that's obviously what he's most known for. But when it's paired with the rest of the defanging of the figure of Pete Seeger within the film, it comes across as shitty. You're making you're like doing a little sleepy time thing.
Yeah. Keen listeners will hear me in the microphone going, me. I'm just joking with you.
I know.
You keep going.
Look, I'm a wobbly. Of course, I'm gonna be a shooter for Pete. Pete's my fucking goat.
Yeah, you're punk. Show off your punk jacket.
Stop. An injury of one is an injury of all, my friend. I got injured by this film.
Yeah, you got injured when you fell on your ass on the
I mean,
ice.
my quote-unquote punk jacket is literally in the show art.
Yeah, I know. I'm just fucking with you. Problems with the movie? Besides, Rose's affinity to Pete Seeger is, the love interest, what is her name? Sylvia, Russo? Is that how you pronounce it? Fact check me on that. Played by Ella Fanning. I was not crazy about because
Russo.
Okay, yeah. I wasn't crazy about her character. She didn't really do a lot for me. She kind of just sat there, watched Bob Dylan play, cry, leave, like twice.
Yeah, women are the women in this film are sort of
like Joan as a character was interesting somewhat. I didn't know a lot about the Joan. And I'm glad that it touched on that. But his love interest with Sylvia. I don't know how to pronounce words. Sylvia. Okay, I was right. Is like saliva is like just very shallow and like not a lot goes on with it. And I was hoping for more.
You're like a reverse racist, I noticed. You can pronounce black people names just fine, but I show you a white person name and you shudder.
Yeah, because white people have stupid names. If it ain't John, then I don't know how to pronounce that shit. Like you gotta be a normal white, not like weird white.
Yeah, not like a fancy white.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know why people complain about black people's naming conventions, which are actually interesting and creative. And then name
white
their kid
people
like
will just Adolf Hitler.
Kylin, and there's no vowels in the fucking name. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. What else you gotta say about this?
Overall, I'm warm towards it. It's well shot. The editing in this film was very good. The pacing is great. Except it just felt a bit shallow.
It didn't really feel like it had a lot to say. It just kind of presented the facts and then just kind of left. Like,
except it even present the facts well.
It's a Wikipedia.
Yeah, it's like a Wikipedia reading of the facts.
Yeah, which I don't know. Maybe that's what the musical biopic needed right now. I don't know. Like, with the last ones are like Bohemian Rhapsody, banger of a movie. Same with Elvis. So,
true.
I don't know.
Does he poop himself in the Elvis biopic?
I don't think so. I haven't.
Damn.
Yeah. You have anything else you want to say?
No, not really. It was good, but it was a bit mediocre. I am feeling a 8.5.
Feeling a 9.
15.
One more thing that I want to say on the movie, and this is just like a criticism toward the tropes of musical biopics, where it feels like it's like fan service almost to a point, where like it's for the old heads. You're like, that's the music. I know that. That's the music.
It felt like it was made for.
I know when that album came out. Yeah, it's made for
Bob
an old
Dylan
head
fans.
audience.
Yeah.
But it's fine. You know.
Yeah. That puts this film at a 17.5 out of 30, putting it between Working Man's Death and The Sick Kitten. All right. Next up,
we watched
an
animated movie from this year as well, directed by one of my favorite stop motion animators, Adam Elliot. This is Memoir of a Snail.
Yeah.
What do you think of this movie, Rosa?
I thought it was a beautiful, wonderful film. Probably my second favorite animated movie I've seen this year.
This one is my favorite of the year.
It's the most stylistically engaging animated movie I've seen this year for sure.
There's so much that I love about this movie.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
So this is a semi-biographical stop motion animated film by Adam Elliot that follows two twins, Gracie and Gilbert. Gracie is our main character.
Played by Sarah Snook.
Yep.
From Succession.
from Succession, whose voice acting really carried this movie, I think. Not
Yeah.
carried, was a fantastic component of this movie.
Yeah.
It follows the life of Gracie, who is a Australian twin, whose mom dies during childbirth and lives with her French alcoholic, wheelchair-bound father, who unfortunately passes away, leading to the two twins ending up in the foster care system and separated in two different families. And it just follows their lives up to adulthood. And I thought it was a wonderful movie and quite relatable.
Yeah, this movie is fantastic. Adam Elliot can really make real lived-in characters, more so than like a lot of movies. I can say these feel like such authentic like people too.
Yeah.
You know, they all have like vices and things that they struggle with. And it just like it puts it on display, and it just feels so real.
It clocks in at only 94 minutes, but it felt like so much more than that. At
Yeah.
the end of it, it felt like I knew these characters to the level that you would know, like, the protagonist of The Irishman after a 3-hour-long film, for example. It felt you really got to know these characters, every one of them, and it was so
Yeah.
fantastic. Why don't we start off with what we don't like, because I feel like it's relatively
Yeah.
minimal.
Yeah, you wanna go first?
Yeah. So Gilbert, our lead's twin brother, his child voice actor is not good. He only has like 3 lines in the entire movie, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
But-
it's fine. I don't really have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Since because of his like, he didn't say much.
Yeah. Like I said, fairly minimal. But it's just something I noticed, and like I don't have that many criticisms of the movie. And the other big one is spoilers. The ending is corny, and I didn't think it really worked.
I didn't think the ending was corny, all of it at least. I think there were some aspects that made it somewhat corny. But I think the ending needed to end on a positive note to hammer home the message of what it's saying, which it has a lot of messages that it is saying, and I think that it helps support that.
Yeah,
And it adds to it. But
maybe.
that being said, I think there is like an element within it that I do find a little corny. Mainly the scene in whenever Gracie's showing off the stop motion movie and Gilbert's there.
Yes, that's what I'm.
Yeah,
talking
but
about.
like just that little piece of it, I
Yeah.
don't think it's just a tiny piece of like what makes something good.
Yeah. And those are my
Yeah.
2 really small critiques of this movie. How about you?
I can agree with like the ending part. I also just I don't know. There's something that holds this movie back for me a little bit. I don't really know what that is. I've seen it twice now, and I still can't really figure it out. But I still think it's a really good movie.
Yeah.
There is some line reads and dialogue that's a little corny as well. But yeah.
Yeah. So, this follows the life story of Gracie, and it's quite a funny film. It's a tragicomedy. First off, the animation style is so fantastic. It's very reminiscent of the Japanese stop motion of the 60s, found within films like A Year Without Santa Claus, whatever that studio is. Put it in post. I'm not.
Thank you. What's our editor's name? I forgot.
Quasimodo.
Yeah, Quasimodo. Thank you. Put it in Quasi.
Yeah,
Moto.
Quasimodo. It had quite a nostalgic feeling due to that style and growing up with that style of animation within
The colors are very beautiful.
yeah, fantastic
learned
color palette.
That they didn't use any green in this movie at all, which is kind of crazy. Like the color green was never used in this movie.
Yeah, it has such a it makes such rich use out of beiges and browns,
Yeah.
and earth tones. It was really great and gave it such a distinct feeling, where it flips this nostalgic, childlike animated style on its head, to make a grittier, more grounded version of it, while still maintaining the sense of wonder, which accompanies the themes of the movie in such a brilliant way.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best examples of the medium of a piece of art fitting the art itself. I was talking about this with adaptations, but the best films and best pieces of art make good use out of its medium, you know?
Yeah.
Like, this wouldn't work if it weren't for that stop motion style, or it wouldn't work as well.
Yeah. I really just love, like, what Adam Elliot is able to achieve with his work.
Mhm.
There's so much nuance with everything. I like its message and its meaning. It feels so, like, it feels kind of a basic take, but, like, displayed in a way that feels so authentic and, like, makes it feel so much, like, more important than it is.
Yeah. And it deals with these deep themes all without lingering on them too much. It's not masturbatory. It's very utilitarian in its use of scenes. You can tell that they stripped it down until they couldn't take anything out, if that makes sense. It was very just perfectly paced. There's not an unnecessary scene in this. Everything has a purpose. Everything achieves that purpose very well.
Yeah.
And there's so much care put into everything with this movie. You can stop on any single frame of this film, and it's just a beautiful photograph.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite, like, sequence or anything? Mine is when Pinky's finger cuts off and, like, there's blood on the camera real quick. Like, it's not like an effect. It's, like, just the material, I guess clay or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but, like, it's cool and I like it. It's in the trailer.
I liked the as someone who has a cleft lip and palate, I liked the portrayal of having a tumultuous childhood filled with lots of surgeries.
Yeah.
And the living with the cleft, because
we've been trying to watch this movie for a while. Since I saw it, like, October, September, I don't remember when I saw it. So I saw it a couple months ago, but we were supposed to review it with the face of another episode, but Rosa wasn't able to get a copy, and I'm kind of glad, because I think that episode would have fucked her up.
Well, because and the other thing is
yeah, you were going to surgery.
I was going to get my my rhinoplasty because of the cleft lip and palate, and I was already kind of insulted by you picking a face of another, which is about a deformed freak getting a new face.
Yeah.
I think this would have been
Yeah.
an extra layer of weird pick, but it was great. It was great rap.
It was so funny as well.
Yeah, it deals with a lot of heavy things, but it has this sense of hope that I really enjoyed.
I like the theme of, like, dealing with your vices and how to break free from the things that keep you trapped. I really think that's a good theme that, like, isn't talked about a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie feels, not gonna lie, it feels so much more substantive with its, like, themes and what it's trying to say than any of the other animated films I've watched this year.
I can totally see that perspective. I think probably my favorite thing in this movie, it's not really a scene, is the way that they use books that the characters read to show character development and learn about these people. I think it's wonderful. As you can tell, Adam Elliot just has this love for literature, and it's used in such a great and unique way, where there are lots of scenes of these characters reading, and you're learning about these characters, and there's this just sense of warmth and coziness that is felt when you're like reading a book next to a family member, you know?
Yeah.
The funniest thing in this movie is probably the fat fetishist husband.
Yeah, this movie is like so weird as well. There's like Apple cults. Adam Elliot is such a weird guy. If you've seen his other movie, so you kind of have to. You already know what you're going into. This is your first one.
Yeah.
So, or I guess it's the other one. There's only 2 feature lengths films. But yeah. What do you think of the weirdness in this movie?
I loved it. The humor really worked for me.
It's really funny.
When there's this weirdo, Gracie gets engaged to this like weirdo freak leaf blower guy who keeps feeding
so
her
funny.
sausages, and the way
Dude,
that
he looks
plays
so
with-
funny.
he's so
He's so
goofy.
funny
I love
looking.
him so. The way
No,
that
because like they
he-
kind of do that like Shaun the Sheep kind of aspect, or like Wallace and Gromit. Nah, not really Wallace and Gromit. Where like it's just grunts. Like I don't know if you've seen the Shaun the Sheep, but the farmer just goes where they kind of do that kind of thing in the movie as well. And I do like that like style.
But she gets engaged, and this guy keeps feeding her sausages. At one point, I was thinking,
Damn, this bitch getting fat.
are her cheeks getting bigger? And then I started thinking, he keeps feeding her. Is he like some sort of weirdo fat fetishist
Yeah.
or something, trying to pork her up? And then, just when you start thinking these things, it cuts away and cuts back to her is like looking like queso, for a lack of a better word, just like spherical.
Bro, she could not put down the cup.
She could not put down the cup.
Of those like weight gain shakes that he was giving her.
Wait, who's that transphobic rapper who looks like he has his own fucking gravitational pull?
I don't know.
The fat black guy.
Oh,
Who likes lean.
David Blunt's.
Yeah, she looked like David Blunt.
That's what I thought you were trying to get at.
Yeah. And then she discovers that her husband has a scrapbook of a bunch of porked up bitches, including her, and she kicks him out.
I
and
haven't
uses the
looked
whip.
at David Blunt's discography, this album cover.
It's him trying to eat broccoli.
Is that a cup of lean next to him?
Yeah, probably. We're listening to David Blunt's. Okay, we're no longer listening to David Blunt's.
No. I want to listen to my music.
I love the use of snails in this movie.
Yeah. A lot of
Snails
snails.
are used as a narrative device in a great way. And it gave me an appreciation for snails that I didn't have before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say?
No, it's just a lovely animated film that I think everyone should watch.
Yeah, if you like this movie, if you check this movie out, if you really like it, go watch Adam Elliott's previous movie that came out 15 years ago.
What the fuck?
It's been 15 years since he made his last movie. And what can I say?
Oh,
He hits
yeah.
again. He makes realistic characters. Check out Mary and Max. Check out Memoir of a Snail. I'm feeling a nice 12 out of 15.
I am thinking a 12.5, putting it between Salo or the 120 Days of Sodom and Zodiac. All right.
All right, moving on. I recommended a movie for this episode. A
What
movie.
movie?
Shut the fuck up.
Oh.
I recommended a movie for today for us to watch last week. Directed by Henri-Georges Clouzot. Written originally by Henry Gernard, pseudonym George Arnaud. What do you think? Called Wages of Fear. Long ass intro. Sorry about that. What do you think of this movie?
I thought it was dynamic
Okay,
I thought
dude. We already did this for Crash, bro. Move it on. What do you think? We can't... dude, we're doing the same bit, like, an episode later? Come on, bro.
2 episodes later.
No, it's not, because it's Crash, Triumph of the Will, this one. 1 episode in between those. What did you think of this movie? Do you think it was dynamic?
Yeah.
Shattering?
And tremendous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. It's a very unique film about a rundown town in South America where you can get in.
If you're French.
But you can't get out.
Yeah.
So in order to get out of this town, Mario, Luigi, some guy who's
Joe.
covered with butter, I think.
Joe.
And Joe, the corked up Frenchman.
Bimba. The other one's name is Bimba.
Dude, he's introduced. He's like covered with butter the whole time. He's so shiny.
Bimba?
Yeah, Bimba's really shiny.
Dude, looking at his picture, the actor, Peter Van Eyck, E-Y-C-K, his picture looks like he's covered in butter.
He does look
Mainly
really
his chin.
It is a movie about trucking some nitroglycerin
Yeah.
from point A to point B, where if you go over a bump, you die.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Crash.
I've been picking a lot of...
Not Crash. It reminded me of what's the Steven Spielberg movie?
Duel.
It reminded me of Duel.
Yeah.
Really unique, ahead of its time.
Yeah, this was released
thriller.
in 1953.
Yeah, it's so ahead of its time as a sort of thriller about driving.
Yeah.
You can see, I'm sure Mad Max was inspired by this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
a lot of movies, I would imagine, are inspired
it's
by
really gripping. I was on the edge of my seat watching these guys truck.
Yeah. Yeah,
Which
I was too.
I didn't expect. I didn't think that they'd be able to pull off selling how dangerous this was with it being somewhat abstract, but they do. It's gripping throughout most of its 2 hour 33-minute runtime. I will say the first 30 minutes are a bit odd.
Yeah, it's a very odd beginning, but that's not to say it's bad. There's a lot of good parts within that. There's some beautiful shots with like an awning, like where it's like kind of stripped and it like really looks crazy. I'm like, whoa.
The first 30 minutes are spent like in the town, getting to know about the people in the town. And Joe is sort of introduced to this town. He meets Mario, a fellow Frenchman. Yeah. And they become quick friends. And I love the cast of characters that we get to meet. The grouchy bar owner, Luigi, who's probably my 3rd favorite Luigi of all time.
Yeah.
The Italian guy.
Luigi wasn't the bar owner, by the way.
No, he's not the bar owner. I said the grouchy bar owner.
Oh, and comma Luigi. Oh, I thought you were saying grouchy bar owner, comma Luigi, comma.
No.
Saying that the bar's owner's name was Luigi.
No. Luigi is Mario's roommate, by the way.
Yeah.
Which
ex-roommate,
because they have a lesbian style breakup.
Yeah.
Because
really
Luigi
sad.
is jelly that Mario's spending more time with Joe. But the first 30 minutes, I will say they do spend a lot of time focusing on characters that kind of have no impact on the rest of the movie. Like, the first characters we meet are the like gang of townies who hang out at the bar, who are just sort of comic relief side characters.
Yeah.
And a lot of time is spent on them when they don't go trucking. They play no part in the rest of the movie.
But I kind of like that, like, that volta of a switch of style almost, where we get like this kind of fun-ish atmosphere, you know, we get these quirky little funny characters, and then we get into the trucks and it's like we're now going into hell.
We're now death trucking.
Yeah, we're spending like you're on the edge of your seat in turmoil watching these guys.
Yeah, it was like it felt like two different movies in a way that I did kind of like. I'm still not sure how I feel about it.
I liked it. Honestly.
I do think I
that.
liked it. I do think I liked it.
I think it like the complete tone shift where like it just kind of I really liked it. I really liked this movie.
Yeah.
I'm glad I watched it. I got
too.
to see this in a theater. So that was great for me.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rosa.
It's okay. Like you. It's.
I was.
It's okay. It's you want to take me out to things. It's okay.
Yeah. I get to see bicycle thieves on the big screen this month.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you in your better city with opportunity.
Yeah, I get to see it
more than one halfway decent movie theater
next Saturday. I don't know. Doesn't say a time.
And you get to see Brutalist before me.
Yeah, I get to see Brutalist today. I also got to see Queer before you. You were boasting that like, oh, I get to see a movie before Joku, and then I was like, no, because like they weren't announcing any, and then they just appeared one day.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, fuck Rosa.
Because I have one nice theater in my city, but
I have like 3.
Yeah, Joku lives in a more major city, so.
Yeah. I live in a better city. Rosa lives in squalor.
Essentially.
Yeah.
In New York, but not like actual New York. Just
not
one
good
of the
New York.
City,
yeah, you
cities.
live in upstate.
Yes, yeah, one of the like 5 shitty cities north of New York.
At least you don't live in like Binghamton.
Oof.
I don't even know if they have a theater there.
They just have a saloon.
Yeah.
And a sheriff.
They have PM Press there.
Yeah. But this film is I'm gonna do the Duel comparison again.
This is like Duel, but the canister that it says explode actually explodes.
Yes, it's like Duel, except you're in the truck instead of in the car.
Yeah.
The last 2 hours of this movie are really just the journey to get the nitroglycerin to the oil fire, and it's just gripping and so effective. There's so many great set pieces in this movie and blockades along the way that never felt forced, like forced narrative devices. They all felt very natural and realistic to me.
Yeah.
What
was your favorite like
high contrived?
What was your favorite like high tension moment? Mine was the rock.
Yeah, when they Butterboy and Luigi have to blow up a rock with nitroglycerin to continue on their path, and it was really intense. Watching this guy pour nitroglycerin, knowing that if he slips, he'll die. And watching Luigi be an idiot that runs towards the explosion so he can turn off the fuse. Then the rocks rain down, narrowly missing the canisters of explosives in the truck. It was just fantastic.
Yeah.
I also really liked the rickety wooden bridge.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Watch like the sound design work in selling the decrepitness of this bridge was done wonderfully.
Wait, Kim Il-sun, we didn't mean to make that joke. We're sorry. It's not nice to make fun of people who are stuck at 65% opacity. Shoot them now.
Do you like that?
Fine.
Luigi explodes. What I do really like
Luigi
is
and
Butterboy.
Bimba.
They explode. You don't see how it happens, which I do really like. You're just kind of left to wonder.
Yeah. What do you think of the oil part?
the oil part was insane. I really liked the part where there's an oil spill as a result of that explosion that killed those two. And they have to navigate through it. Joe's leg ends up getting run over.
Yeah.
By Mario.
Luigi. By Mario. Not Luigi. Luigi died there.
Luigi died.
Luigi died so Mario could drive.
What fucks me up is Luigi looks like Mario from the
they're
90s
switched.
Mario movie.
Dude, they're like
and
switched.
Mario looks like Luigi from the 90s Mario movie.
Mario's a tall, lanky guy, and Luigi's a fat, stubby man.
Yeah, who literally dresses like Mario.
Yeah.
With the hat. It's
maybe
insane.
This inspired Mario. That would be kind of insane, though.
I feel like it must have. It's like way too weird and on point for it to not have.
What do you think of the commentary on this film?
It was good class conscious cinema. Presenting how the fat cat capitalists pay a squalor and keeps the working man down.
Yeah, I felt like I finally really got it at like the oil scene. Yeah. Whenever he kind of runs over the person he's working with so that he gets more money.
Yeah. It does a great job conveying how like the difficulty in getting off of this island is completely manufactured, like by the capitalists, so they can make the people in this town desperate to work for them.
Yeah.
It sort of explains the reserve army of labor in a great way, where people need to be unemployed under capitalism so they can do like shitty gig work jobs due to their desperation.
Yeah. You go.
It had these great class conscious undertones, all without being like slop
in your face.
And like in a way that Marx and talked about, like he even wrote about how overly overt communist films just come
Squid
off like
Games.
What was I gonna say? You Squid Games completely fucked me up. Now I'm just thinking about Mr. Beast.
All right, well, you think of that. I did find that like the point was kind of ruined a little bit by the end of it with the ending. The ending is
fucking dumb.
The ending is like my least favorite part of this movie. So Luigi, sorry, Mario. Fuck.
Mario, yeah, he looks like
dude,
Luigi, but he is Mario.
Mario is the only one to survive, and he's driving back, celebrating, swerving his car, his truck.
While music plays.
Yeah, while
like this nice waltz plays.
Yeah, no, and like it's interspersed with like the bar people dancing because Mario's on his way back. And
even though two of their friends are dead.
Yeah, 3.
Well, they don't really know Joe. Joe just came into town.
Yeah. But anyway, then he, in his celebration, he accidentally drives off a cliff and dies.
And it's so funny.
But like when I saw that scene, I was like on the edge of my seat. I was like, oh, they're gonna reincorporate the scene with the rock, because they took one of the canisters out, put it to the side, grab some, and then put it to the side. I thought he was gonna crash into that, and that's what would kill him. No, but him driving, like stupidly driving off a cliff is what puts him in. And that, like, it really put a sour taste in my mouth, and the ending was not landed well at all for me.
It made me cackle.
Yeah, it was just like, what the fuck?
It was so funny and so abrupt. I also like how when the car falls off.
I mean, maybe that's like on purpose. I'm sure that they thought of it. Maybe that's what they want you to think. I don't know.
It felt so goofy when the car falls off of the cliff. It feels like all of the screws magically got undone in the car, because it just falls apart like a Lego set.
You just dropped a Lego truck.
And it's so goofy, because I looked at the time left in this movie. I'm like, there's 1 minute left. How the fuck are they gonna end this? And then as I'm thinking that, he just decides to swerve off of a cliff.
Yeah. Yeah, acting's good. Everything on display here is really good. There are some elements that don't work for me. Do you have anything else you have to say?
The love interest in this movie is just
She's
such a-
awesome. She's on the floor for that bitch. Mario.
or it's like a vitriolically misogynistic caricature.
Yeah.
That I did not like. Just a one-note bimbo swooning over the protagonist, which that's how you know this film was made in the 50s. Also, I liked when he said you see the inside of Mario's house. He has porn hung up on his wall. He says,
Space.
"Yeah, I keep this porn here, so when I'm fucking black bitches, I can look at the white women porn." Am I
Yeah.
white? Am I right, my white Aryan brother? And Joe's like, "Oui, oui, I
Yeah.
hate that." As
It's
someone
awesome.
who has porn hung up on their walls, would you
As
agree?
somebody who what?
As someone who has porn hung up on their walls, would you?
Yes.
Why'd you?
To grab my purse. I'm leaving in 30 minutes.
Oh,
So I'm just making sure I'm ready so that I can get out of here. Get out of
so you can
Dodge.
scram.
Yeah.
But do you hang up the like hentai on your walls for the same reason?
Yeah.
What race are the hentai characters?
Astolfo.
Femboy?
They are femboy.
Wow. That's the first thing I noticed when I came over to your place. I was like,
Yeah. That's porn.
That's femboy porn on the wall.
But it's like properly made. It's like I bought it at a convention. It
It's like
wasn't
signed by the artist too.
yeah.
It's like beautiful
hentai.
hentai painting.
Anything else you want to say about this?
No, I'm glad I watched it. It was a very unique
yeah.
film.
I'm
Nothing.
been
I've
on my
seen
watch
like it.
list for a minute, so I'm glad
Yeah.
that I finally got to see it.
Want to score it?
Feeling a 12 out of 15.
I am thinking a solid 11.5 out of 15.
Nice.
Putting it at 23.5. Tying it with Queer. What do you think?
Cool. I don't have thoughts. What do you think?
What do I think?
It kind of is reminiscent to Queer in a way.
You know,
A little bit. Like
I
just
am
the town.
kind of thinking about it. Yeah, they're not
like-
dissimilar films.
I mean, like, you could, yeah.
And dude, and our criticisms of the films are kind of similar too with the ending thing. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know. Pick one.
I'll put this above Queer because it's older and more impressive.
It's
as a
older.
result of its I don't fucking know. They're the same to me.
They're the same.
I
I don't know. Flip a coin.
I already picked.
Yeah.
I just did seniority bias. I'm being ageist today.
Dude, fuck ages.
Fuck ageist. I agree.
Yeah.
We have a question from Jenny at Jen Vulture on Twitter.
Yeah.
She says, "My question is what is one movie that beloved by many that you're not really a fan of?"
Where to start?
Where did
I'm kidding.
where?
I'll look at my like ones. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of people who like love nostalgic movies, like the movies that like hit nostalgically. Like the Scooby-Doo movies. I was in a conversation, and some people were like, "It's a great movie. It's a brilliant movie." And I'm like, "Bro, it's not that good. It's not that deep.
Love
It's
Lies
like a
Bleeding is
yeah,
one.
Saltburn stuff like that." But I'm talking like below mediocre. You know.
Well, we gave Love Lies Bleeding 1.5 stars.
I mean, I gave it like a 2.5.
Yeah. I think Love Lies Bleeding is one from this year, definitely. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey one. People like it a lot for some fucking reason.
Well, there's a nostalgic factor. I just said that, bro.
Yeah, I get that.
Like, dude, over 100,000 people gave it a 5-star review. The next closest, the highest, just for put that in, the highest like rating score that it has, like of like a star system, is at 4 stars with 60,000. So
That's
there's like a
crazy.
30,000 difference with that.
Yeah. Most of them are just people being blinded by nostalgia. Like the Sonic movies are a good example.
Sonic's not like nostalgia, like the movies themselves.
Well, I'm saying the characters are.
I don't know. I
nostalgic.
think.
The
Are
Mario
you talking about
movie.
Sonic 5? Or Sonic 3, sorry?
Yeah, Sonic 3
Well, like, the
specifically.
thing that I've heard about it is that you've only seen the third Sonic.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard that it is the best, at least from like a critical analysis standpoint. Like, there's a lot going on with the characters and whatnot, you know? And
Yeah.
I mean, like, maybe you need the fuller picture, because like
Yeah,
the other ones are ass.
I'm gonna
Like,
watch.
dude, literally go watch Sonic 1 and like then go watch Sonic like 3.
Yeah, if we review Sonic 3, I'm gonna watch the other two in preparation. But
I would say start getting those done. I mean,
Yeah,
we'll
I'm going
review it
to.
eventually, but
yeah, but a lot of classics I don't like.
you don't like Casablanca. You hate The Godfather.
No, I like those two movies, but
You hate Citizen Kane.
No, I was good. You want me to give an example, or are you gonna keep?
You
doing-
hate Taxi Driver.
This is libelous.
You hate 12 Angry Men. You would never own a physical copy. You just hate that movie so
Oh,
much.
yeah. That's one of my least favorite movies.
What movie?
I love 12 Angry Men. I love all those movies, man.
Yeah, I know.
But,
that's the
You
joke.
know, I just want to clarify that to the audience. But
Dude,
so then-
I mean, like, I felt like it was clarified whenever I was like, you would never own a physical copy
look,
of
people
12.
are stupid, okay?
Yeah, they love The Grinch.
They love the
Anyway.
Grinch.
Anyway, what
Um,
movie?
Gone with the Wind. I watched a couple of years ago, and I was like, this shit is ass.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna watch it back at some point, but I remember really not liking that film. Birth of a
Yeah.
Nation is one that people have an affinity towards because of its historical importance. I gave
But
that
that's
shit-
like older people, though, I feel.
well, I mean, they're dead now. I feel like nobody really grew up with that movie. It's like it's film majors, derogatory.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. There's a lot that's really popular that I don't like.
Yeah. You just hate the mainstream, bro.
I just
You're-
fucking hate those.
I
mainstream
hate the
shit.
mainstream. I'm out here watching Battleship Potemkin.
Potemkin.
Potemkin. I can't English, but I'm watching that.
It's Russian, but you can't do that either.
Yeah, sorry.
This year's Amelia Perez. That's like by critics who are
But like, I don't know. I like Amelia Perez is so torn. You know,
I mean,
I think like whenever I think of like the way I interpreted the question, at least, like generally loved. A lot
Yeah,
of people
yeah.
that I like know do not like the movie.
yeah, it's
so-
mostly like there is a real disconnect between audiences and critics who are being real, and then like there
Can you
is
look
a-
at it, dude? Look at the bar graph for it. It's so fucking funny.
Wow. That looks like a heart rate monitor. What's going on?
Oh my god.
Um,
No, the Grinch looks like a heart rate monitor if you think about it.
wait, let's see.
Watch the Grinch is insane.
this
You're not ready for
graph.
this.
The fuck is going on, man? What an odd graph. I will say, sort of jumping off of the whole Amelia Perez thing, I think that you know how conservative populists, they'll like identify a problem and then they'll give the wrong solution or like
Yeah.
blame it on the wrong thing. I do think that there is a legitimate problem in movie criticism with like liberal hacks using their scores as a means of virtue signaling
You talking about like music?
in film.
Oh, like are you talking about in the music and film? Like if I one that I think about Green Book with just the two of us.
No, I'm saying like film critics, like mainstream film
Dude,
critics.
come on, bro. I set you up because that's only in the edits. The Green Book, just the two of us edits. That's the music that's like in every Green Book edit.
Yeah, I know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Yeah, that's the score of the movie. I'm saying
Dude,
Dude, I set you up.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, I ain't get the double entendre. Okay,
Yeah.
that right over my head. But I do think that a lot of film critics are like liberal hacks. I'm a commie hack. I know I am. But you know. Anyway, got a movie to recommend.
Yeah. What movie are you recommending for us to watch this week, Rosa?
I am going to be recommending 1999's All About My Mother, directed by Pedro Almodovar.
Dude, you're just picking this movie because there's a named Rosa in it.
But there is.
There is.
Dude, if I like this movie, people are gonna accuse me of choosing my name based on it. Fuck.
Yeah.
We're also gonna be talking about the new Wallace and Gromit and A Real Pain.
Yeah,
So,
that's
look
what's
forward to
next
that.
week.
Yep.
Got any final thoughts you want to air out? Any grievances? Anything else you want to say to the people?
I fucking hate all this woke bullshit, dude. Fuck.
Anyway, thanks for coming on this journey with us. I am your co-host, aka Tourisminster. Bing 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 bong, and joined by
Scatman
John.
Going off to Scatman. I'm going off to Scatman's world.
And we
Here
are
come
posting.
posting.
Bop.
Bop.